Hello, it's me. I'm recording for me and maybe also you. It has been a very interesting day, to say the least. I don't know, do you have these type of days where you think you're going to work on something and then you end up working on something completely different? This has been the case for me. I wanted to continue working on the brand Rebel today, so I wanted to continue working on the online course. However, yesterday I started making some extra changes on my Kundalini work, so on my sound journeys. I think I mentioned in the last video that I took the Kundalini training off the website for now, which was very interesting because I got like such a focus on the website about my sound journeys, which made me then realize that, I wonder if I have to put this up a bit. Yeah, that's better. It made me, I don't know, like there was something about it, like this newfound focus, which I didn't plan on. But it's almost like I fell back in love with the work, which is crazy. And I was reflecting on this today, where so I've been running my business, my Kundalini business, Kundalini Activation, which is all about inner transformation, for 7 years, over 7 years. And it is so interesting when you're in the business and you're kind of just working along. Sometimes we can miss our opportunities of growth, or we're not even realizing that we're grown out of something, out of a phase. For me, the journey with my business, with Kundalini Activation, was that I used to run weekly group sessions, and for such a long time, for 6 years or 7 years, 6 years. I stopped last year, so that would have been, I think, for 6 years. Every week I had just like a few sessions that I missed. I didn't actually even go much. I didn't even really go on holidays in that time. This is crazy. Anyways, so I've been running these sessions for 6 years, every week, group sessions, which were amazing. And I was also doing training on the side. Used to initially started off with face-to-face in groups. And then, as I mentioned before, it turned into working online in one-on-ones. And so last year I decided that there was just something about, I couldn't continue running group sessions. I just felt that have been doing it for so long that I needed, not even I needed a break. I just felt like I need to transition, but I wasn't sure what this is going to be. But I knew that working one-on-one and training others in Kundalini Activation was definitely something that I enjoyed. So last year and this year, I was purely focusing on training Kundalini Activation. I also have sound journeys on Kundalini Activation. So actually I got into, I always loved music. Believe it or not, in my 20s, I used to rap. Crazy. And like 6 years, I think I was about 1 year into facilitating Kundalini Activation. It may have even been earlier than that. I can't remember, but I started having all these yeah, it would have been at least a year after, because through running these Kundalini activation sessions and also working with music from other artists and kind of creating playlists for my sessions that I can use to amplify the experience, I got so many insights, and I just had these ideas of I wanted to create these sound journeys because they didn't exist, but I knew exactly what sounds I need within the sessions. And so I started composing music, and then I started creating, I started to learn how to compose music first, or how to produce music, and then I got completely into it, and I created so many beautiful sound journeys. And yeah, so I kind of did that while I was doing the Kundalini activation sessions, but I never really put a big focus on it, because here's the key, because I never truly, this is gonna be a tough one. I never truly, this is so hard. It's like such a vulnerable thing as well. Like when you're making your own journeys, like your own sound journeys, you're working with music. Musicians know that, artists know that. When you paint as well, or anyone who creates content, they know that you're putting yourself out there. It's vulnerable. There was something about it. I didn't believe in myself. That was like the main thing. I didn't believe in what I was creating. I kind of did, but I didn't, because I held myself back from actually even really talk to many people about that I'm doing these sound journeys. Anyways, so it is funny that now my website, when you go to it, it literally is all about sound journeys. And because of that, I kind of fell back into love with my work in Kundalini activation. So what happened today is I ended up, because it's a membership, I just feel so inspired. I want to create like this amazing experience with these sound journeys. And now it's not only the sound journeys, I'm also providing more insights on Kundalini activation, all the different symptoms and everything that is beneficial for the journey, for sound journeying, and really getting into Kundalini activation at home. So to use the sound journeys to activate Kundalini. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. So that made me reflect a lot. Well, didn't actually have that much time to reflect yet, but that's what I wanted to do now, reflect on this whole situation, because it is very funny that I was really getting into building my new business, the Brand Rebel, which gave me space, and I stepped away from Kundalini for a second. And it always does that. It's so funny. Whenever I try to escape, it pulls me back even stronger. And but I had some space to get away from the old energy of how I was seeing Kundalini, how I was running the sessions, or how just a relationship with Kundalini. Like I stepped away from it. And now having that space and things are shifting, I'm actually falling back in love with the work, which is so amazing. Because if you someone who's running their own business, or I guess this applies to anyone and everything, it's not even just work. It can be relationships as well. It's like, when we're in a relationship, whether it's a relationship with our work or a relationship with a partner, like when we're together for a long time, things are kind of like, it's almost like it can turn into an autopilot experience. So we're not experiencing the new anymore. There is no growth. So by stepping away, which I did with my work, I stepped away, and that wasn't intentional. But now I can recommend doing it whenever you feel stuck, or you feel like it just feels like all the same all the time, and there's no growth, to actually give it breathing space. So to step away, so the energy can shift, and the way you view it and see it can shift, and the relationship that you have with it, whether it's your work or it's with your partner, you can shift that, and it changes. And the funny thing is, it almost does that automatically by just giving it some space. So that's been very interesting. This is not to say that I'm not going to continue with the Brand Rebel, but well, I'm kind of like, they kind of like feed into each other anyway, because well, on one side, I want to focus definitely more on building a platform for Kundalini activation, and I think it's time now, because I have been doing this work for so long, and I have gained so many experiences and so many insights through working with Kundalini and facilitating others, as well as in my own journey, that I feel like that is actually where the expansion is now, is to put all of these learnings into a platform, into something that other people can access whenever they want to. So it's not a one-on-one, which is so hard to scale. And yeah, so that's really interesting. But the focus definitely is on sound journeys and just making that really, really accessible for others. So that's what I've been doing today. It's very interesting. I also had a training session today for Kundalini Activation, facilitator training, which was very beautiful. Tomorrow I have a training session as well. So there's a bit of Kundalini work going on. Yep, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. And maybe I will cut this video, because we cannot have long breaks. And maybe there is more that's shifting and changing. But there's one thing that I've learned now in my experience with having my own brand, that it is, and having my own business, is that it's ever changing and ever evolving. And the best thing I can do for myself is to allow that change and to surrender to it, rather than trying to hold on to something that doesn't work anymore, because it's done. Like, the energy has already shifted, and it's already expanding. And I can see in the past how I was trying to hold on to things because out of familiarity, because it's the known. The unknown is scary. We all know that. Yeah, I think that's one of the key learnings for me today, is to surrender to your own growth and allow it to happen. The ego is always the one that's gonna catch up with things. So we might already be in this new version of ourselves, but we haven't even realized it yet, because like our mind, our ego is still stuck in the old version. And usually what happens is the ego is then trying to hold us in that familiarity, in what we know. So yeah, whenever something is scary, when you have to make a decision and it feels scary, then usually that means you're on the path of growth. That's what I learned. Things, or even things, when there are things that I resist, that's another good one. That usually means there's something that I haven't accepted about myself, and something that I'm blocking myself to experience because of a limiting belief that I have about myself. And trust me, there are many, many beliefs I've worked through already, and there's so many more that I can work through. Yeah. So that's one of the key insights. And maybe this is the space where I can now decide it is okay to have a minute to just collect myself before I talk. And maybe I can cut this video, because why not? One of the reasons I'm actually doing these videos is because I love being unscripted. I love being able to just talk to the camera, and obviously, hopefully, make a lot of sense and bring some sort of value. I forgot his name. There's this guy that I saw many, many years ago. Oh, what's his name? Is it David Silver? Okay, now I have to look him up, because what is his name? Jason Silver. Do you guys know Jason Silver? He is super tapped in. This man can just speak and channel, and like what he says feels like he's like quoting a book or something. It's just so incredible. And when I saw him for the first time, I wonder if I can show you something. Let's see.
We're enjoying a beautiful day here in a beautiful forest, but I thought I would introduce you to a very simple, shiny object.
I don't find something right now, but when I saw him the first time talk, I was absolutely blown away. And I think being able to connect with others through words and storytelling is incredibly powerful and so fascinating. And that is something I would love to master. So part of me recording these videos initially was because of that. Because you know how it is. We only can master something when we're doing it. And so I decided to just go for it and start talking. But the interesting thing is also that through me now creating these videos and realizing how much judgment I had about myself, of what I think I can say and what I can't say. And then there is this business, Kundalini Activation, and how does it fit with the brand Rebel? And like, I need to keep them fully separate. They can't be intertwined. That was all my own judgment that I had. So it's interesting because I'm recording these videos, and through this recording and reflection and documenting, I'm working through these blockages that I'm having and the judgment. And it's incredibly freeing. So one of the things that I can recommend to you is start filming. Start filming yourself. Seriously, it is freaking therapeutic. And you know what? It doesn't even matter if anyone is going to watch the video. That's another beautiful thing, because I do record it for myself. And if there's another soul out there that finds value in this recording, and I would hope that through these raw conversations that are imperfect and so authentic, that I can connect with someone else, and maybe you see yourself in whatever it is that I'm going through in that moment of time. And you know that it's a shared experience. We're all humans, and we got struggles and challenges, and we have ups and downs, and we have so many experiences that we can share with each other. So yeah, there was actually another thing I wanted to talk about, which is really in the spirit of the brand rebel. So I think it's quite ironic actually that I'm creating this business, the brand rebel. And also, by the way, I haven't mentioned yet that this all just happened. Like, I was working on my website for my art, and I have no idea how this even happened, but just of a sudden I was building the brand rebel, and it made perfect sense. I think this is all part of my need to be more integrated back into the physical world, because I was so in just a spiritual bubble for so long, for 7 years. That is such a long time. So now, you know, it's like the old me, the entrepreneur, the business person, and my spiritual self are now integrating. So it does make perfect sense. But yeah, so the irony in the name, I have to say, is that I literally can say I embody the brand rebel, because my name is Sky Rivers. I wasn't born with this name. This name is now my legal name because I changed the name that my parents gave me. And that's a whole nother story. My parents were not happy when I told them I'm going to change my first to my last name. But through the journey with my Kundalini awakening, my music, and everything that was going on, it's just that I mean, I'm not going to go too deep now into the story where this name Sky Rivers came from. But fact is, I changed my name to Sky Rivers. So I literally am the embodiment of the brand rebel, because I branded myself essentially. Okay, fine. Now maybe if there's somebody out there watching the video, it's like, well, where did the name come from? So I might as well talk about it. So, and it's not easy. It's actually not that crazy, but it is crazy. Like, if you're not into spiritual stuff, it's definitely crazy. Basically, we can just say I had an inspiration that this name was my new name. On spiritual terms, I would explain it that this name was given to me by Spirit. This is probably where it sounds crazy, but hey, who the fuck cares? That is my experience. So the name was given to me by Spirit, and it was a big part of being reborn. And believe me, that was not my first rebirth. I actually, like, this year I had a massive ego death and was reborn again. But that was one of those, you know, when you shed those old layers. So yeah, that was the name that came in. And I didn't change my name straight away. I was actually waiting for a year before I made it illegal before I made it legal to change my name, because I kind of sat on it, because it's such a big thing, especially changing your name to nature things, a sky and rivers. I mean, it couldn't possibly be more out there. But that's my name now, so here we are. I'm just part of nature. And it's funny as well, because when I started the brand Rebel, I was like, oh my God, how does my name work with the brand Rebel? That is like, it felt like so conflicting or something. But now I'm like thinking, no, it's not conflicting at all. That was, again, me judging. And I think that was actually the new version of me, and my ego was holding onto the old. And anyway, it's all good now. But yeah, it's really interesting. So now you know. Now you know that Sky Rivers was not born as Sky Rivers. I'm pretty good with talking now. It's 26 minutes. Maybe this is 26 minutes when you see it, or I actually ended up cutting some things. And also to give you an update, ta-ta, I am recording on the Osmo Pocket 3. I have not tested this microphone before, so hopefully this is all working. Otherwise, it's okay too. If it's not working, then it wasn't meant to be recorded. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Plenty I talked about. And just in the old-fashioned way, in the old-fashionable way of being completely non-linear. But thank you, YouTube, because I can always bring chapters in, and then just of a sudden everything makes sense again. So I wish you a beautiful day, evening, no matter where you are. Remember, you're not alone. We are together in this, building our businesses, creating our brands, and just pursuing what we love and loving our passions. I'll see you soon. Bye.